Thanks for watching Blitz. I'm Brian Carter, not on site at Commerce, but I am with Thomas P., head cross-country coach for Commerce. Really appreciate your time. Thank you for joining me.
Oh, happy to be here.
Absolutely, and we're about set for cross-country season, which is crazy because summer just kind of flew past everybody. But, you're new to the program coming into Commerce. Talk about your background in cross-country, when you found out about the opportunity and what it was like when you were able to step in and take over the position.
Well, I've been a cross-country coach since 1990, and last year was the first year in a long time that I didn't have a team because I wasn't teaching, and I was a new hire to the school in January, and I've known Coach Hale for years because I was in the region at both Athens Academy and then George Walton, and so as soon as I got hired, he came to me and he said, well, I'm retiring and they're probably going to ask you if you want to do it. And I said, well, I'd love to, probably just because I hated not being around cross country.
Yeah.
I went to a bunch of meets last year because my son runs at a Coney, but it wasn't the same as having a team.
Yeah.
And so I was excited about the opportunity to take this up, and I knew he had built a really good program.
Yeah.
As I said, he didn't been in the same region, so we'd work together on the region meet and stuff like that. So I've known him for years. In fact, he was my neyghbor for a couple of years.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So we have a great, long-standing relationship.
Yeah. And a lot of familiarity with the program then at Commerce. And so obviously we'll want to break down both the boys and girls. We'll get the boys first. Coming off back-to-back state championships, not even arguably, but the best runner in school history, Brandon Martin, leaves after graduating.
Right.
So what is your kind of feeling, outlook early on of the boys? I know they lose quite a bit, so how are you looking to maybe retool this team?
During the spring this year, there was some days where I had a little bit of downtime, so I pulled up the state results and did what all the coaches do and analyze who's got what coming back. Yeah. And if all of our guys come back healthy, we still have a really good team.
Yeah.
You don't know who's going to get a phenom that moves in or is a freshman or whatever. So I feel like with the boys that we have returning, we should be a podium contender.
Yeah.
And if we, really step it up, we could. These guys know how to win because they've been, they've been on two champion teams. So to me, that's an advantage that we have that nobody else has. So, I can really speak to them in that regard and say, look, it's a new year, new coach, but you're the same guys and you guys are already, you're the champs.
Yeah.
So that's
absolutely.
what, I'm hoping we can build on that. And, come November, 3 in a row would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty awesome. But it is great, a situation where you don't have to rebuild the culture. Right. It's already there, like you said. They're used to winning. So the girls, too, back-to-back podium finishes, and returning arguably the best runner they've ever had in Peyton Bell, who's just a junior, which is insane. Talk about your outlook there for the girls, especially with her coming back, and how special it is to have a runner of her caliber.
Yeah, so it's really nice to know that you've got a top 10 finisher in, coming back with experience. And we also had the 11th finishers are just out of the top 10, so that's 2. And we just found out this week that we're getting a new freshman who's got some experience. So I'm thinking, hey, they were on the podium. They didn't really lose a ton. They kept the top runners, and so same discussion. You guys know how it is to be in that position. Let's work towards it, and that's the goal. And so obviously getting on the podium again, and I know our Murchie didn't lose their top 2, so they're going to be really tough, and they won last year. But, that's who you're shooting for, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of people know that during the summer, hot months like we're out here right now, football's doing their work, softball's getting ready for the season, volleyball. But a lot of people overlook what cross-country is doing to get ready for the fall season. What has it been like this summer? What kind of regiment have you had the runners going through?
It's been a little bit of a learning curve for the kids because that's one thing Mark just said he didn't do was organized practice. The kids got together and worked, and obviously Brandon was, he got so driven about it that I think he organized the guys. But so I've just done 2 days a week where I come out to make sure that they're getting something done, and I sent them a full summer schedule. We have an old adage that championships in cross country are won in the summer. The base that you get in June and July is really what sets the tone for where you're going to be in November.
Sure.
And so I've had, up and down turnout depending on the days, but that's kids are in and out of school, or in and out of town, going to the beach and other family trips. But it's been real encouraging, and so we've basically doing distance just for base training. We'll start getting into the more varied training on the really the first week of school.
Yeah.
Already got that ready.
So I don't want to put you in a tough spot, but I'm going to ask you to pull out your crystal ball. And we kind of talked about broken down the boys and girls, but you've had a chance to get acclimated just a little bit. So I'm going to ask you the tough question. When the dust settles at the end of the season, what are your expectations for both the boys and girls for this whole program?
Well, I mean, to me, I really think both teams need to be on the podium. I think we have enough talent in both that you can expect that. You can't guarantee. You don't know about injuries.
Sure.
You don't know what other factors. You don't know who else is out there.
Yeah.
And the girls is always so tough because everybody has that possibility of having a ninth grade girl that nobody's heard of that all of a sudden is way up there. That doesn't happen so much in the boys. So the boys is probably a little bit more predictable. And as I said with them, we have enough talent coming back that we should expect to be in that group. Because you look at how we finished last year and how, what we have returning third, fourth, fifth place teams, they've also lost people. So we still should be very competitive with all of them. And the girls, I think we're right there. And I think with the experience they have and, the maturity that some of these, the girls, because the two best returning that we know of are juniors now. So they're the old group now, not the younger. So that's exciting. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like a bright future still for both sides, and hope to see both your teams end up on the podium this year. Thank you again so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
Well, my pleasure.
Thank you.